What up, guys? You're tuning in to Issa Podcast. This is the first installment of the Oakleaf's rap music podcast. I'm your host, Jet Williams, and I'm joined with...
My name's Attila Giroux.
My name's Sasha Oshusi.
And Ian McGregor.
Today we're going to be talking about the current state of rap music, whether you can separate art from the artist, and a lot of the newer popular rappers coming up on SoundCloud and other forums that have abuse charges leveraged against them. But to get things started, I just wanted to ask you guys, what's some new music you've been listening to recently? What's been on repeat this past week?
Dude, I'm still stuck on Yeezus.
You're still stuck on
I can't
Yeezus?
stop listening to Yeezus. I
been
know it's
years,
old,
man.
but it's so good.
It's so solid.
It's
Honestly,
so solid.
I'm torn whether it's better than T-Pab or Life of Pablo.
Oh, I
Not
think it is.
T-Pab.
I think it's unquestionably better than The Life of Pablo, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I really appreciated the artistry in The Life of Pablo and the time he took in it, but Yeezus has just overall better message.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeezus
dark.
It's a lot
It's
more
so
concise. Dark. It's easier listening to.
10 songs. It's quick. It's a quick listen.
The fact that he went back in The Life of Pablo and fixed it, though, because he set off a tweet like right after
I'm a
release,
fix
like,
wolves.
Yeah, I'm a fix wolves, and then he fixed like 5 other tracks on the album. It's like much better to listen to now. It just flows a lot easier.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. What about you, Sacha?
Well, I'm still into the trippy wave, like trippy red wave.
Mm-hmm.
Like A Love Letter to You Too. I'm still listening to that. I still listen to Famous Dex.
The boy.
Let's see.
Dexter.
Yeah, I know. Dex. He's the king of ad-libs. So
He really is.
He's beating out Migos.
Oh.
Competition in the ad-lib.
So
They
finally.
were on top for years.
And Uzi. Uzi's got
Yeah,
some good
yeah.
ad-libs.
Uzi's king of the yuz.
Yeah.
75% of his songs are just ad-libs.
Yeah.
Not to mention Playboy, dude. Playboy Cardi.
Oh, yeah.
What?
That's just part of the scene now. I feel
No, it's
like.
the new wave, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
all about ad-libs, yeah.
You gotta have your own
Kendrick,
ad-lib.
Yeah, ad-lib.
Kendrick hopped on the flow.
He really did, yeah.
If you don't have good ad-libs, it's like you're not going to get anywhere now.
It's
Yeah.
weird, yeah. It's kind of changing.
It's almost like a trademark. Everybody knows you for your ad-lib.
Exactly.
Totally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
What
I
about you,
started
Attila?
getting into NBA YoungBoy
Oh, man.
Oh my god.
after the...
Yeah, we'll be talking about him a little bit later,
Oh,
probably.
boy.
I
Yeah.
haven't given any attention. I've been listening to the Black Panther album.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
I listened to King's Dead, like before the whole movie. Yeah, before the whole movie got out.
Oh my
I actually really like that verse from Future. I just think it's so funny,
Yeah, it's awesome.
and it's a good song. And Ops with Vince Staples.
Oh, dude, the beat on that is
Yeah.
just, it's obscene.
Yeah.
Paramedic is fire, too.
Paramedic.
SOB, dude, I'm so glad.
SOB
I'm
and
so glad
RBD.
Kendrick put SOB on the map. Like, well,
Dude.
I mean, they were already on the map, but
Yeah.
like they're getting so much
Nationally,
exposure now. Yeah,
Have
nationally on the
Have
map.
you checked out Gangin'?
Oh,
The
yeah.
album they just dropped? That's
Yeah,
so
dude,
heat. I love
it's
that
great.
album. The energy behind it, it's total Bay Area.
Dude,
but,
it's
like,
the most
new.
Bay Area hyphy. Like, oh, dude, I'm so
They
excited.
got like 80s style drum kits and stuff. It sounds like a fucking like
Bringing me back to the Mac Dre days.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
One album I've been really checking out as far as West Coast, Nipsey Hussle just
Oh,
dropped Victory
dude.
Lap.
Yep.
That's a great album. There's an awesome Kendrick
Yeah,
feature.
I was
a
gonna
bunch of
mention the
good-
Kendrick feature.
The instrumentals are just so far beyond anything that he's usually been done, because mostly what I've known him for before that album was like YG features, you know? Like You Broke, strong songs like that, where it's just Mustard tracks, you know? And Mustard, he's a good producer, but all his shit sounds the same.
It's similar. Yeah. It's
yeah.
that's true.
This new album has
repetitive.
like really good features. Really
No,
good
it's awesome.
bars. Yeah. All right.
I'm still waiting for Problem to drop a new album.
Oh, Problem?
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
haven't heard a lot
Problem.
from him.
Yeah.
Me either,
What
yeah.
happened
He
to
fell off.
him?
He
He
just-
was hot
he
in
was
like
so
2012.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I loved him, yeah.
I think
That's
he's
the king of ad libs. If we're
Yeah, for real.
I know.
that was
He's-
ad lib of a generation.
just kind of
Just-
stopped making music.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people just fall off. Like I Am Sue.
Yeah.
I Am Sue
yeah.
had a couple bangers a
yeah.
while ago, but I haven't heard anything new from him.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah. Getting into the meat of the podcast, though, today we're going to be talking about separating the art from the artist. And this can go a lot of different ways, but it's kind of seemed like in the past few years, it's been a trend of new artists coming up on SoundCloud, getting a huge online following, becoming viral off a few hot tracks, but also having a lot of disturbing allegations levered against them. Some of them can be kind of disputed. Some of them are really blatant. So
Yeah.
let's start with X. X
Oh.
is kind of the OGs, the biggest one.
Yeah,
Probably
he's sort of the face of the
Mhm.
domestic abuse and
most
rap right now.
culturally relevant too,
Yeah.
because he dropped 17, which was
And An
amazing.
excellent musical album.
A collection
honestly.
of nightmares and thoughts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, I don't like
in
that
real life
album.
situation.
Well,
I got a few reasons why. I don't
My
like
problem with
no.
that album is that it's like 20 minutes long.
that. Exactly.
Like
true.
we need more content than that for an album, you know?
I'm
Yeah.
okay with that, honestly, because I don't really like sitting there listening to an hour, 2 hours worth
Mhm.
of songs. So, like, if
Okay.
it's condensed in there and it's
Yeah.
good, then I'll just play it on repeat.
Right.
Or
Mm-hmm.
you wish you had more sometimes, but then you just think about it and say, okay, he'll put out something new that's like that. So,
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like the artistry involved in creating a 1 hour long album that's easy to listen to, like you can listen to the whole thing, like a Yeezus or Good Kid, Mad City, stuff
Oh.
like that. It's just the elevation of skill. It shows that they have talent. You know?
Exactly.
And 17, while it does have some good moments, it also has a lot of really whiny moments that I can't take seriously because
true.
of all these allegations that have been leveraged against FX, and they include battery of a pregnant woman who
Which
he
is-
was dating.
Yeah, and the pictures that surfaced from that were
Oh, yeah, her
absolutely
black
horrendous.
eye,
Like
it's
that, I've
awful.
never seen anything like
Yeah,
that before. That
it's
was
insane.
awful.
And witness tampering because he got her to sign some things saying that it wasn't true, but
Oh, did he
it's
really?
still-
Oh,
it's
and
still-
I actually never heard about that.
it's still out for debate whether she actually signed it of free will or he kind of like intimidated her into signing it in a
mean,
way.
mhm.
And he imprisoned her in his apartment for like a few days. I think it
Yeah.
was like 3 days or something.
Yeah,
He
I
like
guess 3
took
or
her
4 days.
phone, wouldn't like let her leave or anything.
Yeah, no access to the outside world or anything like that. Yeah.
It's just really weird because in this Me Too movement, you know, it's 2018, like every other major pop culture area, like TV, movies, anything like that, you're seeing all this acceptance for women sharing their stories of
Totally.
abuse and
Yeah.
coming out, and it's totally on the abuser, you know? Like even Aziz Ansari, which is like not even really that much of an abuse case, he still totally was harassed by the media, all
Oh
this
yeah,
stuff. But then
massively.
in rap culture, it seems like all the rappers get a free pass.
The free pass.
you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do you guys think about that?
I think, for one, probably one of the main reasons domestic violence cases towards rappers get kind of swept under the rug is normally the main group of people who listen to rap are men, so they're not quite emotionally affected by domestic violence as like a woman would be.
Mm-hmm. They can kind of look over it a little bit.
Yeah,
more.
not to say it's not important. it's I don't think it's looked upon the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think that the content of rap music itself. I mean, I think rap is not necessarily, not in all cases, but I mean, a lot of rap music has very violent content itself,
definitely.
lyrically.
Exactly.
It's
And
based
so,
on that.
Yeah, totally. And so, I think I don't know. It's just sort of. It's really unfortunate, and it's hard to say, but I feel like just violence and rap music sort of go hand in hand, you know.
Yeah. In some ways, it's a part of the culture.
It is.
and
It
it's
really
just
is.
weird because all these other areas of pop culture are kind of catching up with the
Exactly.
social movements in
Right.
the past few years. But it seems like rap.
Stuck in the past, sort of.
Yeah, and in some ways, it's getting to the point where you have like gay rappers like Frank Ocean, I Love McConan, people like that are
Brockhampton's got a couple of gay members.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Seems
Tyler the
right.
Creator too dropped an incredibly hot album, Grammy nominated, and it was all about him coming out as gay.
bisexual. Yeah.
Yeah, bisexual.
Oh, he's
exactly.
awesome. Tyler the Creator is an icon, man.
Yeah. So on one hand, you have all these rappers coming out.
I was gonna say even Lil Peep.
Mhm.
Yeah, he
He's
was like,
bisexual.
yeah, he was bisexual or claimed to be with I Love McConan.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow, I didn't even know that.
they were
that, no.
they'd comment on each other's pictures like
Oh, wow.
cutesy stuff. So
Aw,
Oh,
In his song, yeah, he
that's sad.
yeah.
yeah, it's really sad.
Shit.
R.I.P.
Yeah, in a song he
I feel
mentioned
bad.
like liking boys and stuff.
yeah,
Okay. So on one hand, you've got all these rappers and musicians in the scene coming out as gay, but then on the other hand, you have this homophobia that's just ingrained in rap culture, and you have
Absolutely,
artists like 21 Savage on his most recent album had a line calling people queer. You know, Migos have repeatedly
Yeah,
come
Offset
out with
and Takeoff. Both
exactly. And then in an interview, when it was in a Rolling Stones interview, the interviewer told them that McConan had come out as gay, and they're like, "Oh, that's whack. We don't fuck with that." You know?
Of them. Really?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is
They
just-
thought it made him like not real. You know?
That is a major turn on.
I read an article where Miga's manager booked them for some show at some club, and when they got there, they realized it was a gay club, and they decided not to play there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy. I mean, but
God.
really, if you think about it, it's not that crazy looking at the history of rap music
Right.
and the content that
No,
it's...
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's been ingrained in rap culture that I mean, it's about
Well,
yeah,
Being a
just-
man, being
yeah.
hard, being masculine.
getting
culture.
bitches.
We ain't with that gay shit.
Yeah,
stuff
no,
like that.
exactly,
It's just
yeah.
ingrained in the culture.
Yeah, it's part of it.
So do you think that you can separate the music from the artist with X, despite his charges? Do you think that, you know, his music is still relevant and he deserves a place in the industry?
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just because I am completely biased. I'll play devil's advocate here because I listened to X before, way before any of those charges came
yeah,
out.
same here.
And then after it came out, I unfortunately didn't really feel any different. I mean, obviously after he goes on trial and gets convicted and everything, I will probably feel different. But for right now, I'm just gonna pretend it's not happening.
Yeah, because there are really high points on that album. you
Oh,
know?
absolutely.
Parts of it are really artistic.
And the
really-
songs that he released just purely on SoundCloud, like before he really like blew up, are some of his music and like
Yeah.
his flow is absolutely incredible.
You can tell he's talented, not
he's
just
incredibly talented.
with rap, but with just music in general.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He has a good ear
Singing,
for production,
rock.
the lo-fi.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. The alternative stuff.
His
like-
styles are all over the place.
All over
he
the
does
place.
like rock songs. And
Yeah, like
songs
King.
with, like guitar.
Dude, that's a great
There's
song.
one called like Willy Wonka or
Oh,
something.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I forget what
Something
the
like
name
that.
of it is, but yeah.
Yeah, personally, I don't really care what charges are on the artist as long as their music is good. Because I mean, I listen to Dex. Obviously, he has a case with beating up his girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah.
And then NBA YoungBoy and all these people. But personally, I mean, they rap about like violence and selling drugs and killing people anyway. So like when you hear about these other cases, it's like, it's kind of
Yeah,
their
yeah.
own.
Do you
I'm-
think it's a little hypocritical to enjoy rap music that talks about abusing women, killing people, selling drugs, and then getting all mad when this stuff actually comes to
Yeah,
light? It's like, well, they're
exactly.
talking about it. Why would they not be living it? you know?
Exactly. And most of them come from the hood and these areas where a lot of that stuff happens. So it's like in their nature. So they rap about it and they got big off that. And then when they're big and they do it, then it's like, whoa, what the heck are you
Right,
doing?
right.
But like Kodak gets in trouble all the time.
Yeah, he's still like, you know, living like he was in the
Exactly.
hood when now he's like this multimillionaire artist. Like
And he's a
selling out
father.
shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And there you have people like Vince Staples who raps about being in the hood, raps about his experiences in that like hostile environment. But because he's elevated himself out of that place,
And he
he's not
uses his
doing that
platform
anymore.
brilliantly to bring awareness to stuff like that. I
Yeah,
think.
exactly.
Like whether it's Twitter or even just like lyrically. But for me personally, when I'm listening to a song by an artist like X or Kodak, like yes, I can enjoy the song, but for me, it's always going to come with an asterisk from here on out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's hypocritical for me to say that, but I don't know. I just feel like it's really, really, really hard for me to support someone who has done something like that. I don't
Yeah,
know. It's just really hard for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
And then taking that to the ultimate extreme of an artist who has really gnarly allegations leveraged against him and whose music is arguably not that good. Let's talk about 6ix9ine.
God.
6ix9ine.
Yeah, we're gonna boycott him.
The pariah of the industry.
I just
That dude.
Dude, that guy is awful.
Yeah, I am an avid rap fan. I try to listen to every new person. I have not listened to 1 second of one song from 6ix9ine.
Really? You
Not
haven't
one
heard any
second.
of them?
None of them.
Which is crazy because he has songs like placed like in the teens.
Oh,
on the
yeah.
Billboard Top
No,
100.
totally.
I've never
Yeah.
listened to
He has
anything by
100
him.
million views.
Yeah, yeah. Multiple like above 50, 75 million views on World Star for like KK, Gummo, and whatever the fuck.
Well, Gummo wasn't on World Star.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was his breakout hit.
I don't even know what his voice sounds like.
I like
He yells.
Gummo.
Yeah,
He yells a lot.
He
Does he?
honestly sounds like a new metal rapper. Like,
Yeah.
He sounds like Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, I could see that.
I
Ronnie
like
Day
that. That
beats.
sucks. That sucks.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually listened to a song of his called Billy the other day.
Oh, yeah.
And
So bad.
dude, it's not good. Like I'm
Yeah.
sorry, it's just not good music, and he's not a good person.
thing was-
I'm not with Takashi at all. I'm
Yeah.
not about him.
He also has the
Trippy.
same kind of thing with X in a way where they release an album of like 11, 10 tracks, but it's only like 20 minutes. Like I
Yeah.
think his album is actually 22 minutes long.
Yeah,
and
it's like
has
each
11
song's like a
tracks.
minute and a half or
Yeah.
something. It's not enough content. I don't know.
Exactly. Just feel like the artistry is not there. He yells "Scum Gang" on every track. but
God.
He reuses flows on the album, and I mean, screaming and rap can be fine. Suicide Boys is pretty chill. They have
Love
some
Suicide
they have
Boys.
some good songs, but
Denzel Curry.
Denzel Curry,
yeah.
He kind of originated that whole. Well, not originated. It was the first I heard when he released Ultimate.
Yeah, he brought it into the mainstream, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Ronnie J produced beats. He blew up off of Ultimate and a few
Oh,
other
yeah.
tracks on Imperial.
Yeah, that was his stick. It was
So do you guys think that if the level of artistry is high enough, it's acceptable to overlook the transgressions that an artist has done for the sake of their music?
Also, well, it
No.
also depends on their attitude. Like 6ix9ine is like this like boastful,
Yeah,
like
he's super
arrogant, like
He looks like a fucking Skittles.
yeah. And so if
He's easy to hate.
yeah,
he is.
easy to hate, exactly. So if you have this rapper that's like lovable but makes good music and he comes out with an allegation, then you don't hate on him as much, because you like their music. Like we hate 6ix9ine, so obviously these charges are gonna be more of a deterrent to listen to.
Yeah, totally.
And like X's stuff, he has that abuse charge, but in his music, there's a lot of raw emotion centered around depression,
Totally.
losing loved ones, and it's like kind of a venting place for like teens that listen to his music, kind of like stuff like
It is.
Nirvana was for that kind of older, like,
Absolutely.
depressing kind of music that you can listen to when you're sad and kind of just vibe with,
Yeah. I don't know. I have a hard time with myself just listening to the music. I don't know. I just can't get past the point.
There's a little ethical like knife in
I
the
just
back of
feel
your neck.
bad for I feel like I'm giving him support and I shouldn't be.
To
But
be fair, they only get 0.008 cents
Right.
per stream.
yeah, no, it's yeah.
God, that's so little. I know that.
But I did the math, and Ed Sheeran, just for the single Shape
Oh,
of You,
God.
he got 14 mil in a year on Spotify because he had so many.
$14
streams.
million
Well,
from one
wow.
song streaming.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well,
The
it get
payouts
cuts to
typically-
the
Good for
label
Ed
and
Sheeran,
stuff.
man.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
most of it goes to the label.
Mm.
True, yeah. Yeah, vast percentage goes to the label.
That's,
But
that's very true.
Yeah, I read Uzi made like 12 million off Exo Tour Live.
I don't doubt it. That
I
song
don't
is
doubt that at all.
huge.
That song blew up
And he
majorly.
made like $900,000.
Really?
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, that song is a meme.
Yeah, I also read that he hasn't paid his producer for that
Yeah.
yet.
Oh,
Really?
shit.
No,
Yeah,
his
The guy that made the beat.
label didn't or something.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
well, anyways, yeah,
That's a
his
big
producer,
issue.
Producer hasn't been paid, huh?
That's actually a big separate issue in rap music. I read an article that said that the guy who produced what was that posse cut that ASAP Ferg did? Work.
Oh,
With
yeah.
Schoolboy and all those other guys.
Oh, the
Yeah,
remix, yeah.
The producer got paid $200 for that instrumental.
Oh my
And
gosh.
that
That is a
song-
phenomenal
that's-
instrumental,
That
dude.
song made like millions of
No,
dollars.
that song
was
Like,
huge.
It was fucking everywhere.
Yeah, no, literally
Still
everywhere. I
is,
love
yeah.
that song.
Yeah.
That is that's one of my favorite songs
Yeah.
ever. I love that song.
Just for context, because I realized we never really went into this whole thing with Takashi. He, the allegations leveraged against him. There's a video. There's 3 separate videos he reposted to his Instagram.
Which
Back-
is idiotic.
Yeah, he was, I think 19 going on 20
Mhm.
with
15-year-old.
13.
13,
She was
13, yeah.
Holy
13.
shit.
Yep. And in the first video, I think she has her like boobs out and he's like groping them, and then it escalates from there. And I remember in the last one, she's laying across his lap
Yeah.
and this other guy's lap, and the other guy's like playing with her private parts.
Oh,
and he's
geez,
like,
I never saw
it's
it.
filmed
Dude,
and it
see,
went
like,
up on his Instagram,
that's
all this
just-
stuff. And
I
he
can't.
knew she was 13
I
because he
can't.
put text on it that says she 13. It's like so blatantly
Oh, geez.
awful, and like he pled guilty to all charges too.
I don't even understand how he's popular.
I don't get it.
He's literally a
doesn't make
pedophile.
sense.
I don't. Yeah, no. Yeah.
And if you look at the way he presents himself, he's marketing himself to kids,
Yeah, totally.
I mean, in some kind of way, it's a little goofy, but he's got rainbow colored hair. He wears rainbow colored
No,
grills.
you said it. He looks like a Skittles
He has
package.
he has 69 tattooed on his body, like a bunch of
A bunch of times.
69 times.
Yeah.
The face tats and everything.
And the album artwork for his album looks like Adventure Time.
It looks like Adventure
It's
Time.
the art taken from Adventure Time.
Which he stole from somebody.
Yep, I saw that. Some random Tumblr artist did a little piece of fan art, and then he hired someone to trace it for his
Are you serious?
album artwork. Yeah.
See, there's just literally nothing positive about this guy whatsoever.
There's
I
nothing
can't
positive.
I can't do it.
Yeah, and he's in crazy beef with Trippie Redd.
Yeah.
And we all share an affinity for.
Yeah.
Mhm. I was also gonna say he also tries to market his album towards kids, because like I saw on his Instagram stories, like he would say like, oh, if you pre-order this album or buy this album and DM me a screenshot, I'll post you on my story. And it's like,
man.
oh my
That's
gosh,
so
is that
awful.
how you're gonna get sales? Like,
It's the only way he
Kinda
can get
desperate.
Just bribing little kids.
I'm surprised he's not bribing the fidget spinners.
Oh man.
It just shows the lack of ideas. He's got a 20-minute album reusing flows, and he has a song on there twice, just
Yeah.
because of a separate offset.
Because of a feature, yeah.
And the rest of the song is the same. There's no production changes. He doesn't rap something different in his first
No,
verse.
it's the only
just
difference is that
reusing
there's
ideas.
an
It's
added
not-
an added verse by Offset.
yeah,
Right?
it's just not creative, not clever as an
No,
artist. You know?
yeah.
and that's why Trippy's the GOAT.
All right.
So you said you kind of feel a little bit of an ethical, like a little tingle when you go
Dude.
back and listen to these artists with abuse charges.
Yeah, it hurts me to listen to it.
But when you go back and listen to older artists who also have abuse charges, specifically I'm thinking of like Dr. Dre,
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg, all those guys back in the day, you know, there were a lot of allegations against them.
Oh yeah, they
A
were in.
ton.
Yeah,
Dre, it's known that he like beat up D Barnes really bad, like
Yeah.
like hard,
I
you know?
there's just I don't know. I don't know what it is. I guess maybe the passage of time
Mm-hmm.
just has something to do with it. I obviously don't think it's ever okay. I mean, you can't forget that,
Yeah.
but people
yeah.
do.
A lot of people don't know it.
Yeah,
It's been
people
swept
don't even
under
know
the
about
rug
it. Yeah,
to
it's
a
been swept
degree.
under the rug.
Yeah, the only reason I found out about it is because I was going back and re-listening to the Slim Shady LP.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And there's that song where it's like Good Conscious, Bad Conscious, and Dre is featured on it, and he like calls him out for slapping D Barnes like, on the track. It's like, that's interesting. Eminem wouldn't just say that unless it had some actual like context. And I went and looked it up and was like, oh god, Dre's a horrible person.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's bad, dude. It's it's bad. But,
So, quick
yeah.
question. So, you've listened to TK The Race,
Of
right?
course, yeah.
And you like that song, right?
Okay, yes, I like that song.
And he was arrested for
It's a
like
hot song.
killing like multiple people, right? Or
Yes.
or like being involved. And
Yes.
it's like I'm still gonna think it's a hard song.
Dude,
like-
it's the song of a generation. I'm
He's-
sorry.
And
Exactly.
he's 17 too.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that makes it worse or that much cooler.
that much cooler.
No, it made the song better because he's like he's like gonna do the race, like run away from the charges.
Well, I mean, he released the song with a warrant out for his arrest. Like,
Exactly.
So
So
cool.
The emotion behind the track kind of makes it feel more raw and more
Yeah.
like explosive when you're listening to it, because
Totally.
you kind of get the feeling that okay, he's actually like, this is happening. I think that's also what made a lot of Bobby Shmurda's stuff when he
Oh,
was
free
putting out
Bobby.
music. I mean, I think he should stay in prison. For
yeah,
a
no,
while.
no, I
He's-
agree.
nah,
he did a-
free Bobby
He was
back.
It was only
Free
guns.
him.
They only caught him on gun charges.
No.
That's
Free
only
him.
caught him on.
They only caught him on gun
You don't
charges.
know if it was just
I'm gonna
gun
repeat
charges.
that. Free Bobby Shmurda.
But that's the thing. I feel like that authenticity and that level of like, you know, he's existing in this environment day to day, so it kind of makes it more real when you're listening to it. You get that extra bit of
Yeah, no,
emotion, even though
absolutely.
his rapping was subpar and stuff like that. You know,
That's the whole reason I like X's album 17. Just you could hear the raw emotion and the. You go on to Rap Genius and read all the lyrics and stuff behind it. It's actually very interesting.
that's what I was doing the
That's a
first time
sad
I
album.
listened to that album. I went through on Rap Genius and checked out every song as I was playing with the
Mhm.
lyrics. And I don't know, man. Some of the stuff on there. This is one of the big problems I have with that album is that a lot of it seems like it's just a whiny teenage diary
Yeah.
It's kind of
put
pretentious.
over a beat.
Yeah.
That is exactly what it is.
Which I mean,
That's
in
why I
some
like it.
cases, in some cases that'd be really good because there is a ton of raw emotion coming through on the project. But the fact that he has all these abuse allegations leveraged against him, and it's not just the recent stuff. Like there's a huge timeline of events going back to when he was in juvenile hall,
Mhm.
and he beat up his cellmate because his cellmate came out as gay to him, and he was like, "I ain't with that," and beat the shit out of him until he was bleeding and rubbed the blood on his face, you know, and just stuff like that. Like I get that you're depressed, but I don't care enough about your depression because you're such an awful person.
Exactly,
You know? Like
yeah.
it doesn't impact me emotionally because I know that you're this horrible guy, so I don't really care about your feelings, you know?
That's a really good way to put it.
I mean, I think a lot of people, a lot of things that I've seen just like on Twitter or social media, or even just in like conversation, is that people sort of use his or view his depression as a qualifier for some of his actions, which is not okay with me at all. I mean,
gives him
that
a
just
free
makes
pass in a way.
literally no sense to me.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't agree with that either.
yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Like the dude that shot up the school in Florida. He had mental health issues, but obviously this is a big comparison. But that doesn't excuse him from what
Absolutely
he did.
not. No.
X may have anger issues and depression issues, but that doesn't excuse him from beating up his pregnant girlfriend.
No, there's nothing that can possibly excuse. There's no viable excuse for an action that foul in my mind.
I mean, I'm fine with rappers selling drugs and buying
Yeah.
guns,
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. That's a way of life.
And killing people.
Let's move on. No, it also helps that he looks hella goofy.
Dude, he shaved off his eyebrows.
He shaved off his eyebrows. He dyed his
Looks
hair
like a llama.
blue. It's fucking hilarious.
Looks like a llama.
He's an easy guy to hate.
And
you
he's
know?
He is.
5'5" and like 150 pounds.
And he's corny sometimes too. He's
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
It sucks
Yeah.
because you have a lot of these rappers trying to push out a real positive, do-it-yourself, uplifting, enlightened mindset, but they come off as corny. And I don't know if that's because of rap music as a genre. You don't seem real unless you're rapping about hard stuff. But like rappers like Logic or Russ, they kind
They
of
are corny though.
I know they try to push this positive angle of like love each other, and I don't think Logic has any abuse charges leveraged against
No,
him
he
or
does not.
anything like that.
As far as I know.
I mean, Russ is really bland. He makes awful music.
Super annoying.
Yeah. Russ is probably my least favorite musical artist, maybe of all time.
Me too. I have not heard many positive things about Russ as a person. I've heard he is an asshole.
Well, dude, that
After
whole thing.
Peep
Yeah,
died,
after Peep, I was
he
gonna
just-
bring that up. That guy's garbage, man. Like,
Yeah.
no,
That set me over the edge because
I
I
love Lil Peep.
I was
Peep
real
is-
hurting when Peep
Peep
died.
is the best.
So here's an example of not separating the music from the artist.
Okay.
Because Russ is a horrible person and he makes bland music. So it bleeds through.
And he hates on the culture, like all the
doesn't.
time.
Yeah,
Like,
he does.
Yeah. And like Post Malone, he
His
He's a huge
comments on
rapper.
hip hop.
Yeah, his comments on hip hop, he doesn't view it as like a deep,
Doesn't-
introspective,
yeah.
like good
That is-
genre.
That
Absolutely
pisses me off
bass
as well.
backwards to me.
Yeah, yeah.
It's something that made him famous, and he's gonna go
I know.
and talk down on it, and oh god.
I don't even
Sucks
consider him
'cause
a rapper.
He is
Yeah.
no, he's like an R&B.
Yeah, he's a singer.
He's a singer over
that
rap
uses
beats.
heavy trap influence to make his songs hot.
Right.
He blew up with
Iverson.
White Iverson.
Which is so good.
I thought he was going
it's
to be a one-hit
it's a
wonder.
good song. I did too.
honestly.
I did too.
was fully expecting him to drop off the map,
Yeah.
and I don't remember what his next single was after that.
Was it
Congratulations.
Congratulations, right?
Oh yeah, and that was like years. Because I remember White Iverson dropped like either in high school for me or like the year after I finished high school. Yeah. College dropout.
There you go. Ooh.
Kanye.
No, there's an album.
There's an example of artists so good that it doesn't matter what kind of bullshit they say.
See,
Yeah.
but Kanye's never really done anything of like disgusting,
Yeah.
vile.
Yeah, really his
Never-
worst offense
Never broken
ever
laws.
was
Taylor Swift.
supporting Trump.
Yeah. Okay.
and,
Yeah.
Yelling at paparazzi.
I just want to point out, after he was supporting Trump, he had a mental breakdown. So you could kind of sweep that under the rug.
Dude, I think it might have been some Get Out style hypnosis.
Oh,
going on.
man,
dude, I would not be
Someone,
surprised.
pulled
I
out
actually
the brain
completely
of
forgot
Jay-Z,
that
dropped it in
that
his
whole
head.
thing happened.
Yeah, the Kardashians.
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen the
Yeah.
Kardashian curse? I'm just praying for Travis Scott right now.
Oh,
I
dude.
hope
I'm praying for him.
Travis
Travis Scott's already a goner.
Oh,
He's
no.
already